Don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work lead to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned in to the prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter. And now, a word from your local Pope dealer.
Strange music.
Oh yeah, isn't that?
Drinking some Caribous.
Yeah.
Still listening to some Tech Nine back in the day.
Yep.
We're just waiting, and we are live.
Perfect. Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott.
And I am Katie McDermott.
And today joining us is Mr. Dobies.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it. I've always thanked everybody for growing with us. It's still only our first year.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for coming on. Thank you for at least seeing our mission and believing in it enough to come on and tell your story.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Awesome, man.
Great setup.
Yeah, thank you. So we run everything about the same because I've told consistency matters, but it's still a little different. So we start from childhood and then we go to where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
We really believe if what childhood matters, like how you were raised, and it kind of shows your trajectory.
Yeah.
And then I also have a random book of questions.
Oh,
Plus,
boy.
I do a little research. I'm like the R&D person. I looked at your website, so I have a bunch of questions about the things you were involved in. So.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would you say your childhood dynamic was like?
So I'm not from Jackson originally. I grew up in Brighton. It's over in Livingston County. So I was a Bulldog, which is kind of funny to now be a Viking, being orange and black. You know, Brighton Bulldogs were orange and black too. But we grew up kind of outside of the city, out in the sticks, kind of in the township. If you know where Kensington Metro Park is, 94 Kensington exit there. We were right off the exit.
I was a gladiator. So
Yep. Grew up back in the woods, like we bordered the park, so I could just jump the fence and go in the park. But just kind of traditional upbringing. Both my parents were public school teachers, and I got one sister, and pretty normal. I mean, we. I think when I was in like 5th grade, my mom died. So she passed away. Yep. From cancer. She had breast cancer and it metastasized into skin cancer. And from diagnosis to passing is about 9 months. So, but dad stepped in, single dad, remarried, got divorced, remarried again. Okay. That's kind of how family dynamic until high school was, and went off to college.
Gotcha.
What'd your parents teach?
So my mom was an art teacher, and then with budget cuts, she started to teach like geography and different things. They kind of moved people around, but she taught in Saline, not too far from here. And then my dad actually was in construction most of his life. Went to school for architecture, did some of that, but mostly was in construction, drove gravel trucks for a little while. But when we were in grade school, he went back to school, got his teaching certificate, and he was originally a woodshop teacher in Willow Run.
Okay.
It is, tough area.
Yeah.
But he was cool, cool guy. Kids loved him. Actually, when he passed, a lot of his kids showed up to the funeral and back to the funeral. But he started with woodshop, and then he actually wrote a state grant and developed an entire robotics program.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, he built robotic arms, had wind tunnels with CO2 dragsters. This huge facility. So take your son and daughter to school day was dope.
Yeah.
To play with all that stuff, and then with budget cuts, they started to kind of decommission a lot of that stuff, and he started teaching math and stuff like that.
Okay. Who was the most influential person in your life growing up?
Oh, probably my dad.
Okay.
For sure. It's hard to lose a parent when you're that age. you know, I'm dating someone now with like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, same age that I was, more or less when my mom passed. And, you know, you have some memories and stuff like that, but you really kind of get your upbringing and learn about a lot about who you are and your values and things like that, and just how to cope with different issues that you face throughout middle school, which can be tough, high school, which can be even tougher. So learned a lot from my dad.
Awesome. So one of our huge things is clearly learning the personal side. I mean, people in Jackson know you, and you know, so I try to get the stuff that they don't know. So what is your favorite memory of your mother?
You know, I think that there's a lot, but I think when you a lot of just experiences. We used to travel a lot when I was a kid because we get summers off. So and both my parents were teachers, so we had like a little either 14 or 16 foot old, like just 19 had to be 70s, like tow behind trailer. We had a Bronco. So
wood panel, all that good
stuff.
stuff.
Wood paneling in there. We had a Bronco, you know, and you know, back then just it sounds like back then now. I'm not 40 yet, but you just sit in the back and without your seatbelt and crawl in the back of the Bronco and stuff. But we tour around, we'd take trips out east, and so a lot of great experiences and great memories kind of doing that, which you know is cool to kind of get out of Michigan and see different parts of the country, tour different states, go down to Mammoth Cave and go out east to Maine, stuff like that. But I think like the memories you remember most are just like the little idiosyncrasies of like, you know, I still remember like what she smelled like when she like came back in from coming home from work, of like her perfume and like a new car smell.
It's a scent memory.
Yeah. Scent memory, yeah. So,
that's awesome. That really is awesome. So you grew up in Brighton. Did you go to school in Brighton?
Yeah, went to school, Brighton High School. So I went to Spencer Elementary. We were the Road Runners, and then I went to Scranton Middle School. We were J-Pups, and then went to Brighton High School, Bulldogs. So graduated from there in 2004.
So, yeah. Awesome, man. What was your hello, Alex. What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Kicks.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, Kicks guy. You know, I didn't really realize this. My sister will tell you a whole story about it, but like, I would like eat like sugary cereal and then just like lose my mind. Found that like, Kicks rather, probably like my go-to.
Right on.
Okay.
Mine was always Fruity Pebbles, and that's what my question started stemming off of, man. And then this became like one of the questions. So awesome.
I got a 9-year-old now, so now it's like going through the cereal aisle and being like, "That's a good one. That's a bad one." You know,
and they're all full of sugar.
Yeah, it's all just like it's all colored sugar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Corn syrup.
Oh yeah.
Man. So what was your favorite subject in high school?
You know, I in high school, I would say I had a really great teacher named Mrs. Cook, and she taught world history. And I found I'm just like kind of a history nerd, especially like ancient history. But I found the way that she taught really compelling, of teaching in a different way. She would play like classical music while we're taking tests and stuff, and then the day after the test we would like take crayons and color on a map as like high schoolers.
Oh,
so it's like
cool.
you get some like
sensory.
Yeah, you get some like different experiences, and like you use your brain a day, and then you get to kind of learn through different engagements. So I like that. Man, in high school, I took we had some AP classes, and I probably took too many AP classes. Actually, the classes that I took, I didn't do well on the AP tests. I took like AP Calc and I think AP Chemistry or something. I was like, but I ended up taking some tests that we didn't have classes for. I took AP Government. We didn't have like AP US Government class, so I just like bought the book and read it and like got a 5 on the test and was able to transfer some credits up to college.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you said ancient history. Anything specific, like ancient Greek, ancient Egypt?
I would say both. Like probably Greek. Roman history. I remember like writing reports on like Julius Caesar and stuff like that. And I find that like area pretty fascinating. For my honeymoon, we went to for my longer term honeymoon, we went to Italy and kind of toured around some of the ancient Roman sites and things like that. So
man, did you get to see the Sistine Chapel?
Yeah, went into Rome and like toured just incredible history, and you can like sit on the sidewalk at like a restaurant and just see like I think it's like the Parthenon, like just like
so cool.
There it is. So
that's so cool.
That's like the only like travel I've done. Outside of that, I've like been to Canada.
Right.
So
did you happen to get in the Vatican City?
Yeah, was in Vatican. Walked in there. That's pretty impressive going into just walking through that. Not only is it beautiful, but just filled with history and stories. And it's I'm a big fan of like going to museums, and now that I have a kid, I get rushed through them, but like being able to stop and read and kind of understand what's being presented. So
was you're talking about the Vatican. Was God ever a part of your life growing up?
I went to a Presbyterian church. Went to Vacation Bible School growing up. And after my mom passed, my dad was kind of like, you can choose to go to it, but like I'm gonna like choose not to. So young enough where it's like, well, not really something that had like impacted my life at that point. So we kind of stopped going after then.
So I was reading a little bit. You were a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
So like
I was an Eagle Scout.
Okay, so you made it all the way. You made it all the way. But so what was that like with like growing up and so what was the Scouts like growing up?
It was cool. So I went to like Tiger Cub all the way to Eagle. So I got in early, which was cool. But went through like Cub Scouts, Weeblos, crossed over to Boy Scouts, and then did the whole first class, second class, Star Scout, Life Scout, and Eagle. I actually like kind of grew out of it when I wasn't like the most popular kid in school, but I was like a big jokester and stuff. And felt like Boy Scouts is kind of lame, but my dad told me he's gonna continue to take me there, and so like I continued doing it and continued working towards Eagle. I actually was part of a group in Howell, so like I didn't like interact with any of the kids from Brighton, and after I became Eagle, like I talked to some of my other friends and they're like, oh yeah, I'm like an Eagle Scout too. I'm like, really? So anyways, but yeah, I had some great experiences, and now looking back on it, I mean, the number of times I look back at myself, I'm like, what an idiot, but incredible experiences. I've probably used that more in I still use it on my resume, but I use a lot of the skills that I learned there, and it's opened up a lot of doors for me. I carry this scar. I don't know if you can see. There's like a scar right here. This I got at like a scout camp that my dad was at, and we were playing capture the flag at dark. And, you know, I was just grabbed the flag and just running full tilt back to my side, and like, boom, slammed, collided into something, got up, and I put my teeth through my bottom lip and into like my friend Jim's forehead, and he had to get stitches across his forehead from my teeth.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh God, and like put my finger into my mouth.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
What
my
was
dad's
that?
like, oh hell.
What was the hardest badge, right? What was the hardest badge to get?
Ooh, you know, I would say like honestly, like probably citizenship in the world. Maybe was one of them. Like I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Like I feel like that one's hard, and it's hard to like focus in on, because when you're in like, you know, grade school, you're like your world is so small that like it's not something you actually think about. So maybe that one. I'm still actually a merit badge counselor, so I give back to the scouting program in a couple of different ways, but I'm a merit badge counselor for citizenship in the community, citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world, and American labor. So
What's
help a lot of the troops here.
What's the silliest badge that you could get? 'Cause I know there's some silly ones. I didn't make it
like
far in Girl Scouts, but
I don't know. I've done like basketry.
okay.
So I feel like you know,
weaving.
yeah, it's like you make a basket.
Okay.
I've done like leather work, like not. I don't think it's no. I'm not wearing the belt, but I have like the belt that I made still.
Oh, cool.
Obviously, it doesn't fit because I'm fatter. But I've been to Philmont. I still have my Philmont belt. Philmont's like a big scout camp in New Mexico that I spent 10 days at.
Oh, nice.
That belt still fits. So
I don't ever want to assume, but it sounds like you've always been of service, like just from the part of the story that I've heard. So do you? How do I ask this?
What was the spark that made you realize that you wanted to dedicate so much of your time to public life and citizenship? No, I have a list.
Yeah, but but seriously, it sounds like your trajectory was to maybe not become mayor, but it sounds like your trajectory was to be of service or to help people. Do you think it started being that young, like Eagle Scouts, Boy Scouts?
Yeah, maybe. You know, in Scouts, there's a big like community service component for sure, and giving back and helping the least among us. So probably some of that. I think like you know, in college, there's a lot of different ways that people can give back, either through community service, public service. So maybe that was kind of the origin of some of that. I think some of the rest of it was kind of in college, and then just kind of observing the world and continuing to see, you know, point out where bullshit is and try to do something about
it. And I know we backpedaled a little bit, which we're good at doing that. But going back to where we were, did you play basketball in high school?
You know, I did in 6th and 7th grade try out for basketball and got cut. So I ended my basketball.
Did you ask because he's tall?
Yeah. Dude, he walked in, I shook his hand. I was like,
I was probably around this height. I was probably like close to 6 foot in high school, but I weighed like, you know, probably like 70 pounds less. So I was just like, my nickname was like Skeletor because I looked like probably like just a walking skeleton. Yeah. And I didn't do basketball. So I did like the other things that tall people can do, like just running. So I was just a, you know, lump of bones that did cross country and long distance track. Brighton has Mount Brighton, which is you know, glorified trash heap that they've turned into a ski hill. And growing up, my dad was on a ski patrol at Alpine. So we would get pre-seasons passes. So high school, I was also on the ski team, which if you can imagine like a really tall, skinny person in like a tight spandex GS suit, even better.
Man, it's funny. Fowlerville, where I grew up, was kind of like it was not as cool of a Brighton, so our little Fowlerville hill was just for sledding. So we'd go to Brighton and to sled down that because I never ski, but to sled down something like that was phenomenal compared to Fowlerville, little mound.
I always pizza when I should have French fried. So I don't have the coordination. So
Yeah, stuff.
Man, did you have a normal high school experience in terms of dances and proms? Like did you go to all your proms and stuff like that?
I did, yeah. Outside of the first dance, the rest of them I went with one person. Yeah,
Congrats.
yeah. Had a little high school sweetheart, and kind of through a myriad of different situations and stuff, breakups, back together, breakups, back together. We ended up getting married in 2015.
Awesome.
And moving in together,
Congrats.
having a baby in 2016. So we're divorced now.
Oh.
But, like I did marry my high school sweetheart.
okay.
Well, congrats on both, I guess.
Thanks.
I don't know.
Win some, lose some.
Yeah.
So what was like getting ready for college like? Did you have a bunch of different choices? Where did you go?
I had tons of choices. All of the colleges that I could have applied for, I guess. I only applied to Michigan State.
Really?
Yeah. I got in and I was like, cool.
Awesome.
So I actually
That's impressive too.
I didn't really know. I mean, yeah, it's state, I guess. I had a best friend in high school that went to Michigan State, and there's a little residential college there called James Madison Public Affairs School. He went to it, and at that time I kind of was in government and taking the AP government test and thinking like, I kind of like this. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll be a lawyer. Maybe I'll be in the State Department, doing something like that. I'd taken by that point like 5 years of Spanish, so maybe there's something here. So I applied there and they let me in. And so I went to James Madison there.
Do you still speak Spanish fluently?
Ha! See. No. So no, and actually, by the time I got to college, I went to my like guidance counselor, and I was like, kind of bored with Spanish. Maybe I'll try something different. Maybe like Italian sounds cool. And they're like, you want to like work in government or like the State Department or something? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do you want to work in Italy? I'm like, not necessarily. They're like, okay, well, maybe consider one of these like, growing like languages. So they offered Russian or Mandarin or Arabic. So I did, I think a little over 2 years, maybe just 2 years of Arabic.
Oh, cool.
That's
Yeah,
super cool.
which is wow. So
The-
we write Arabic.
The letters are, I think, Russian and Arabic, how they have like a different alphabet kind of. I
Oh,
look
yeah.
at it and I'm like, I don't know how.
Yeah, so like you write right to left, and then every letter, depending on where it appears in the word, can look different
Right.
as well. So basically, the first semester, you're just back as like a first grader learning that.
Yeah.
What the sounds are, they're all different. So it is. I mean, it looks really beautiful, but
Mhm.
it is incredibly complex and hard to know a little bit of Arabic, but not much. So
So our normal questions for people that's been to college. Did you travel or did you stay on campus?
I didn't like go abroad or anything like that. So I stayed on campus. I took took some internships. I interned in the Capitol, actually my first internship was for a Republican state rep out of the Gladwin area.
Okay.
So Tim Moore, and was working there, interning there, the chief of staff. But I think this was like maybe sophomore year. The chief of staff left, and the legislative director moved up to chief of staff, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to like, I don't know, work the front desk for like $10 an hour?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Okay.
It's like good beer money, you know. So yes, I do. So I worked there for a little bit, and then got some experience working on some other campaigns and things like that. Left that opportunity, but yeah, mostly just kind of stayed around being that scene. Did some, you know, did a little bit of traveling, but nothing like traveling abroad for school.
What was your actual major, and did you major and minor?
Yeah, so I majored in political theory and constitutional democracy.
Okay.
So yeah, mouthful. You know, I made sure that my major was not oriented towards any career application. Like there's no like, you know, political theorists, you know, philosophers aren't just like walking around contemplating like the origins of government and stuff like that. But you know, most of those people go into, you know, graduate and then go to law school, you know, maybe become professors or whatnot. My specialization, because I studied Arabic, was in Muslim studies. So I read like a lot of the like Quran and studied the like intersection of like Islam and like the kind of geopolitical aspects of like the Middle East.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I got a specialization in homeland security. So
Okay.
I forgot to ask. We'll back up again, but then we'll go right back to where we were. What was your first job?
oh, I was flipping so I was thinking about this the other day. My first job, I worked at Kensington Metro Park, flipping burgers and passing out popsicles at like the stand and stuff. But my best job of like my kind of first jobs, I was like a janitor. So go around, scrub toilets. You get to like, I cleaned a lot of dealerships.
Okay.
So and those are like kind of wide open spaces. So you get like a like vacuum backpack, which are like totally dope. If you ever have an opportunity to get a vacuum backpack, I don't have one, just have a regular one. But you can like, you know, go to town vacuuming with one of those.
Reminds me of SpongeBob.
They're quick.
That's what that reminds me of.
Highly recommend if you've never vacuumed with a vacuum backpack.
Man. Yeah, what was it like mopping those floors though? All that
Did you have like a
All the
Zamboni
time.
thing?
Oh yeah. I mean, we got paid like per night, so it wasn't like hourly. So it was like after school, we would drive down to Ypsilanti, me and my friend, and like, you know, each night we had a couple of dealerships to hit. Not rob, but like, you know, to clean. And so we would just, you know, fly through those things and like, you know, mopping as fast as we could. And it was good pay. But I've also done, you know, worked cutting grass, worked one summer building like koi ponds and things like that.
that's
Or, like subdivisions. Yeah, just lifting heavy rock. So learned a lot from like working for my dad, you know, splitting block and building retaining walls for room and board, I guess. Just, you know, I guess when you have like a boy, you're doing manual labor.
Strapping young lad.
Go split those blocks. Yeah, so but he, you know, because he was an architect and he knew how to build stuff, so I learned a lot about construction stuff from him because we built a couple additions onto. He built our house. Actually, he bought the property. It was a scout camp. It was like the latrine So we probably bought that for like, you know, $10 back in the day or something insane. But then built the house, and then, you know, I was fortunate enough to be able to, you know, looking back now, I was fortunate to be able to have some time with my dad working on the house and building out an addition, building out a master suite, and then, you know, redoing the entire retention walls. So
Going back to college, since
Yeah.
who was the most influential person in your life at this point?
Myself. No. You know,
Good
I
answer,
think-
Steve.
I think you know, I would say probably like some of my you know, fellow students that I was with. You know, I think you look up to your teachers, and then when you get to college and you're with a whole different crowd of people from all different walks of life, all across the state. I had some like interesting housing situations that I found myself into, where I was like with like some like 50-year-old guy from Nigeria and like two like women from somewhere else that like were subletting the 3 units out of the 4 that I was with my friends for a summer. So, I mean, cool stuff like that. But I think really when you go to college, you, the most impactful component of that is the different people that you get to meet, the different experiences that you get to draw from. You know, and honestly, like with James Madison, there's a lot of incredibly intelligent people that go there, some, you know, pompous people. But you know, learned a lot from that. Had the opportunity to be part of the student senate there, so got to be involved in student government. In fact, I think I was part of the student government in high school too, Team Extreme.
That's a cool political name.
We got to make, so this was like my first, I guess it would be my first political video. Like in high school, the like each team running for executive board of the high school got to like make a video and then air it in front of the whole like school. So because we were Team Extreme, like the guys, we just like did extreme stuff. And this was back in like Jackass days.
Oh, okay.
So we got like, it was winter, so me and my friend got a kayak, and part of the property in Brighton, my house, we had like a spring-fed pond, so it didn't freeze over in the winter. You can imagine sledding down into that with a kayak and just plunging into freezing cold, like immediately, like bad decision. But you know, it was on tape and made the video, and we won. So
You jump out like,
pretty much.
Okay. All right.
My first campaign slogan. So I'm the original extremist.
Man. So we run all these for about an hour because we just found that people's attention span is about an hour.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, honestly. So we're getting to about the halfway mark. I never want to rush or anything, but there's clearly quite a bit that we want to learn about you. So what came after college? And I guess I just mansplained, so I apologize. But what came after college?
Yeah, so I took a couple of different internships and stuff in college. Actually, like started my own company in college, and had the friend that I followed there intern for me. Which I'm guessing none of like the school counselors like are watching this, but so had some different experiences there, and actually got involved in campaigns and stuff, and got picked up by the Michigan Democratic Party as the like youth organizer for the state. My senior year, I was trying to graduate in 3 years, and then I was like, screw it, why rush? So like my senior year, I had like, I think 2 classes first semester and 1 class second semester. So it was like, cool. So I got to kind of work through that and I worked up there in Lansing at the Hart Kennedy House there. And then, kind of got bit with the political bug and bounced around to some other jobs. I worked for that job was technically working for the Democratic National Committee in Lansing, doing that organizing work. That was in probably 2007 and 2008 when I was graduating. I went to work for the Obama campaign.
Nice.
Down in Detroit. Yep. As their border state director. That was a time, totally different politics.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was a pretty transformational figure. And we had, I worked down in Detroit, and my job was kind of to intake all of the volunteers that were coming from other states. But we got people from all around the world, England, France, I had someone from Azerbaijan, and I'm okay, where is it?
Right. I'm curious, where is it?
Yeah. It's in the Caucasus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but just an incredible diversity of individuals that were listening, I think, to some of the things that he was saying and made sense, and put their life on pause to come to America, to the United States, and come to Michigan and go knock doors for something like that. So I think our politics is far different now, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. I think during that time, and in that case, he was running against John McCain, and there was a lot of respect between the two candidates, which is I think kind of lacking in today's politics. But left there and went to back to the MDP. I spent some time working for the state Senate in Lansing, and then I got a call one day from John Dingell's district administrator asking me to manage his last campaign for Congress, or what ultimately became his last campaign for Congress. He, was the longest serving member of Congress of all time, probably 60 years or something like that. And so I got to do that. And then I stayed on with him as his last district administrator, helping with constituent stuff. And from there, got the job I have now, working for the Michigan AFL-CIO.
So two things. It's funny. Myself and Katie, I will say this. We try to keep our political whatever to ourselves. I think Obama was the last good president that we had, last real president, because of what you just said. Because there was respect.
It was a different time.
He held himself different.
He did wear a tan suit once.
And then he asked for
the camera, so he's not perfect.
He asked for Dijon mustard on a hamburger. Ridiculous.
No, but I've been saying that for years now. After I don't want to put myself too far out there, but after Trump's first run, I said, man, Obama's the last real president we had.
Which is a lot coming from him.
Yeah.
Every time, there's a lot of reasons for it, but now everything's just nuts. So.
That, and he completely reformed healthcare, and that was beautiful because we definitely needed that. We still need that, but
yeah.
One other thing, and pardon me if my question comes off wrong. It is lack of information, not because of any agenda. You said that you interned for a Republican.
Yeah.
And then you went, how did that work? Like how does that work?
They were the only ones that called me back.
Oh, okay.
And so I worked in that office, and then through doing that, learned I probably wasn't a Republican.
What was the realization like? It's I still don't
but
like
they were paying me.
Right. So
I think there were, now looking back, now I can certainly there's certainly good Republicans out there. I think that the Republican Party has changed, and a lot of my friends are Republicans that just don't align with the direction that the party's going now, and I think kind of have been pushed out of their home. you know, the party apparatus is a vehicle by which, you know, Democrats and Republicans both use it to come together to coalesce around some basic tenets and philosophies, and then work to put those people in office that can effectuate those philosophies through policy or procedure in the executive branch. I think that you know, it's hard to be like, man, George W. Bush. Like, I just wish like there were some George W. Bushes again. But you know, it's certainly a different time. I guess, like, you know, in my experience, in my limited experience working for a Republican, and Tim Moore was very kind. He was a conservative, like he was like a high school, or I think he was an elementary school principal, you know, so like nice guy. I think he actually left the legislature to go back and become a superintendent, if I'm not wrong. But just kind of like, you know, looking at some of the stuff that was coming into our office about like, you know, we're getting rid of the helmet law for like motorcycles. And I was like, well, you know, isn't that gonna like kind of like drive up costs and like put more people are gonna like get injured and die and stuff, and kind of the answer was just, well, freedom. And you know, I think that there's some validity to you know, that as an argument that people should be able to make those choices. But you know, I've done a lot of studying between, you know, positive freedom, negative freedom, and evaluating kind of what that really means. And I think that it's not necessarily an absence of laws, but making sure that we construct our policies and build our laws in ways that actually build opportunity for folks, because without opportunity, you don't really have freedom, you know? So if you don't have the opportunity through like a good job, healthcare, like if you are a member of the LGBT community, you know, particularly in this town, before 2017, when we went through that whole non-discrimination ordinance battle, you know, people would come up and talk about some of the fear that they have. And to me, that's freedom. You know, if you're scared to be who you are in your own house that you're renting, taking your significant other out to a restaurant, or being refused, like, you know, public accommodations, or being fired from your job, like, that's not freedom. So,
Seriously.
Yeah. So how did you get to Jackson?
So Obama actually told me to
I'd really be like, oh,
You don't even know Brad.
go for my cycle. No, actually Obama. So I've met Obama. He's cool. He is, well, everyone's shorter than me, except for Garland Gilchrist, who is super tall. He is like at least 3 inches taller than me. And as a tall dude, when you see someone that's like as tall or taller than you, you're like, oh my God, I'm a freak. Is that what I'm doing? Like, jeez. But Obama's like much shorter, but he's a cool dude. When he was president, he created the first-time homebuyer tax credit. So I think you got like 10 grand if you're a first-time home buyer. And I was looking around. I was living in Lansing at, I think, Kalamazoo in Pennsylvania. So, you know, kind of the hood. And started to look around to like buy a house because, you know, the economy tanked and there was that positive incentive. So I almost bought a house in downtown Mason and had been down in Jackson before, working on campaigns and stuff. And Marty Griffin, who is, I think, was the state rep at the time, but he had been mayor before. And, you know, found a house down here, frankly. So I moved to Jackson because of the housing. It was cheap housing. I think my first house was like 35 grand. So.
Oh, jealous.
Yeah. So I was bought the house at the northwest corner of First and Union. So,
Oh, no,
Okay.
kidding. Right down the road from us, pretty
Yeah.
much close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
for
wow.
sure.
I will say that if you did purchase the house in Mason, you would have got a very good return.
Yeah. I'm working on getting the return in Jackson. You know, property values are increasing. So
Yeah. Yes, they are. Seriously, our neighbor bought his for 30, however long ago. I paid 150 for mine. So
Mhm.
like, and now they
Well, that's
raised-
also the market.
well, yeah, but now they just
Yeah.
raised for yes, but it's the market too.
yeah.
Man, I was just God, were you the youngest mayor in Jackson?
You know, if you go into the second floor of City Hall, they have like pictures of all the mayors and stuff. And I'm like great at taking awful pictures. So there's an awful picture of me in there. I think that there was like a boy mayor of Jackson in like the 1830s or something when like no one
That don't
cared.
count. Yeah, that don't count.
Yeah, it was like he was, you know, it looks like he was maybe 24 or something. So midlife, I guess, for that era.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. For back then, he probably was halfway through his life. Yeah.
But I don't think so. Probably in recent time. Actually, Jason Smith was fairly young, so and he's still around. Actually, he lives on Union Street here somewhere, so not too far away. But
It's because we're cool.
yeah.
Yeah, no, man. For some reason, I thought you were the youngest. I heard it and I never checked into it, so I figured I'd ask.
The tallest.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll claim
sure,
the
of
tallest
course.
mayor. Yeah.
Okay. So, you have done a lot of things. So what?
Good things.
Yes.
Mostly good things.
So
That's
what
all we can
came
find.
first? Was it like the councils and the boards and things that you sat on, or was it like campaigning for mayor, or was it like a mixture of
Like what I do first here?
Yeah. So like, how did you start your Jackson political?
Yeah,
public-
your career in Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was like, you know, I guess primed for service with my upbringing, and I was like, well, I'll get involved. And I applied for the Human Relations Commission in Jackson, got appointed by Karen Dunnigan, who was the mayor at the time, a conservative Republican, appointed me.
Wow.
And so I did that, and that kind of the mission of the Human Relations Commission is really to like foster good relations between the city and the public, to work on matters of diversity and inclusion, and a couple of things that they have been working on for a long time, one of which that I learned about was the non-discrimination ordinance. That was like a 40-year battle that they had.
Wow.
So learned about that there, and from there, that was probably I moved here in November 2009 and started working on my house. I think I got appointed to the board in 2010 sometime. And my dad passed in August of 2010. So yeah, it was, he was helping me like fix up the house and stuff like that. And he passed then, and then the next, there's the black cat.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, man, we tried getting him out of here too.
He likes to rip stuff
He
down.
found his way back. Dang it.
He was too enthralled with what I was saying. He had to come and
He
check it out for himself.
He picked it up. I was like, oh.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I got into that, and then the next year in 2011, Marty encouraged me to the city council person from this area, 6th Ward, which basically south of Queens and west of 4th Street to the boundaries, the old 6th Ward, which was at the time the most affluent and conservative. The city council person from the time was retiring, and I ran for that and ran against an incredible candidate, Larry Lloyd, incredibly qualified U.S. Army combat vet, worked for the American Red Cross, state director of a national nonprofit supporting high-speed rail. Was married, had a baby in like October of the campaign named Lincoln. And I was like,
That's the cat's name.
Jeez.
Sorry.
So
I was like, man, people shouldn't vote for me.
I was gonna say you earned that.
Yeah, well, we both went out and worked really hard, knocked on doors, and I ended up just besting him by 23 votes and
Wow.
got onto the city council and kind of went on from there.
Dude, that's so awesome, man. I didn't know. Well, clearly I didn't know that because
Yeah.
that's why you're here. But that's
Yeah.
what was your favorite thing doing as mayor?
You know, I've done a lot of stuff, but my favorite, and I get to do this. I'm on the school board now, so I still get to do this. And frankly, I think a lot of people do it. You said Justin Counts. I know he does this stuff too. Really, the coolest thing, and it's I think made better by being there, is going into the schools and reading to kids.
Oh yeah.
Because the kids have the like. One, they're like jazzed because it's like you're a celebrity or whatever, and then they follow that with like just wild questions. So it's like, how old are you? And they're like 16. I'm like, higher. They're like 80. I'm like,
There's no
I was just knocking it. And also because I'm a giant, they're like, wow, how tall are you? So that's mostly like I get to go into elementary schools and tower over kids, and
It's funny because sometimes I feel like I'm a little kid because you came here and I'm like, dude, I was geeking. I was like, oh my god,
he is this mini.
I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Yeah, I'm a little kid.
So you've served on like a massive number of boards.
Yeah.
Is there like a common thread or an underlying personal belief that drives your interest in the diverse types of organizations that you participated with?
Yeah, because we read like 10 boards, it looked like, or something like that.
I mean, some of that you do just because you're appointed to some of those by the nature of your position as mayor or city council person. So you kind of go there and staff and serve as the liaison between the council and like those boards. I will say, I think like the boards and commissions are an incredibly important aspect of our local government because I'm just the tallest mayor of all time, but I'm just like a tall dude with a particular set of experiences. And there are so many other folks here in the city that have an incredible background, incredible educations, incredible other life experiences to pull from to inform our public policy here. So, and some of them are like incredibly important, like boring, but like our pension funds are like incredibly important to like the workers that are working there. The police and firefighters that put their lives on the line. So those are incredibly important to me. Some of the ones that I think I get most excited about are the ones that I help create. So in my time, I created the Environmental Commission to help our city address, climate change and some other priorities around improving and modernizing our trash and recycling operations in the city, improving our tree canopy so that like it's prettier here and also like less hot.
And we can breathe.
I mean, trees help with that. Trees do. I mean, like I just actually met with the city treasurer and went down an incredible rabbit hole around stormwater retention and stuff. So I've become like an urban planning nerd, which is cool. I can appreciate that, hang my hat on it.
Yeah.
But like trees are beyond just like pretty and stuff. They can, the things that I've learned around like traffic calming and like, road dieting and using trees along the road strategically to help slow traffic, like all that stuff's cool. Environmental Commission created the MLK Corridor Improvement Authority to drive some of the progress you see downtown down that corridor. The Affordable Housing Commission to really help make housing more affordable for more folks here in the city. Created the youth council, to drive more youth engagement and, the future Jacksonians, and like, what do you want to build? Like, what would keep you here? And like, what's to do here? When I first moved here in 2009, it was like Daryl's and Dr. Don's right across.
And what's crazy is how many people I'm like, that was like a big senior picture spot is Dr. Don's back door. Like, I have a senior picture there. Like,
I mean, you could roll a bowling ball downtown and not hit a thing. And then the like classiest restaurant joint in town, you could sit in those windows and look at like silhouettes of like martini glasses with strippers in them. So, the what it looks like now is a testament to, I think, like actually a lot of hard work, but like Jackson believing in itself.
Yep.
I also have lived here my whole life, and I still cannot believe we were called Jacksonians. Like, that's so weird to me.
Jacksonites, Jacksonese.
It all sounds weird.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask, there is no backing to this. I watch Blue Bloods a lot.
Okay.
Does the mayor get to appoint the chief of police? Is that
No,
real?
not in this town.
Okay.
No,
So we have like a there's a difference between like strong mayor and weak mayor. In Jackson, we have a weak mayor. In a strong mayor form of government, like you are like the top administrator, like the CEO.
Okay.
In a weak mayor form, even though I am generally strong, but we have a weak mayor form of government. Which means that largely the mayor is like a figurehead and ceremonial, has functions of voting at the council meetings, but the council and the mayor appoint a city manager who's like the top bureaucrat that actually runs the city. So,
gotcha. Dang, man, that would have been cool.
I'm still strong though.
Yeah.
So I got old man strength, and it builds every year.
I have hysterical strength. No,
Before our wrap-up question, we ask the same to every guest. She'll probably ask a couple more questions. I had one more. How did you get into JPS? Like how did you
on the school board?
Yeah. Or what
I feel
made
like I
you
was
want?
tricked.
Okay.
Maybe a little. No, my kid goes to, my daughter goes to JPS. She has since she got into the school system, and I took a step back from. I ran for mayor, got reelected, and then was a month away from filing for my third term unopposed, I think, and kind of made the decision to not do that. Was going through the divorce at the time. I was like, I got to focus on my family. So I stepped down from that and took some time off to just kind of like do the swan song of like, a lot of that stuff was just like boom, 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 final year, like get it done as a lame duck mayor. And then I was done, and then they were a strong lame duck.
Yeah.
Okay. But then I got done, and some folks approached me, someone that I won't name, but they were like, I'm thinking of running for JPS. Like, why don't like you run with me? And I'm like, well, if you run, I'll run, because like you're an incredible person, incredibly sweet. And then it got to like the filing deadline, and word had kind of circulated to some of the educators and administrators at JPS that I was going to run. And so that was kind of already out there. And then the person that encouraged me to run with them didn't. And so I was like, well, I'm here now, and it's been great. It's been an educational experience, I will say, the most, because I've learned a lot. I sit with some of our principals and stuff. I'm like, I shouldn't even be here. Like they're just incredibly adept and really care about helping our students not only through their educational journey, but to really set themselves up for success. proud to be a part of JPS. We just passed the bond millage, which I think is going to set us up for building improvements for the next decade, $126 million worth of improvements across the school system. So, but yeah, it's a great opportunity, and I love being in spaces where I can contribute and also learn. And I think that's what I do on learning more about our educational system and expressing our values through it.
Awesome.
I did kind of want to hear a little bit out of your time on the Parks and Recreation Commission and the Ella Sharp Park Board. What is your favorite park in Jackson? And then also, how was things working on those commissions and boards?
It wasn't anything like the TV show. No.
Are you more of
Is
a
it more
Leslie
like
Knope?
Parks and Rec? Is it more like V? Is it like House of Cards?
Are you like a
what is the
Leslie
vibe?
Knope or you are a Ron Swan?
Perfect. Actually, one of the funniest parts is that our Parks and Recreation director 1 year for Halloween did dress up like Leslie Knope.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Totally awesome. My favorite park, I don't know. I like a lot of them. I like, now that I have a kid, like I just like tour all the parks. And we've made a lot of improvements to like Loomis Park. More improvements are coming to the King Center and the playground behind there. I just had a hand in helping to rename New Leaf Park as Griffin Park in honor of my mentor.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
cool.
I actually, during COVID, so I led the city during COVID, which I can give you a whole nother like diatribe on that. Happy to come back.
Yeah. Awesome.
I named, created Workers Memorial Park, which is off of MLK over by like Segway and MLK and Biddle there. Named that and actually dedicated it my final day in office. And they like poured the concrete, put the signs in, and actually like took my ID from a decade of like service. Like, I mean, and like tossed it into like the concrete. So actually on MLK, that sign there on like the easternmost post, if you like dig it up, you'll find my old ID where I had a massive swooshing hair or something from when I was, 23 or 25 or whatever when I first got elected. So I like that park because I think it resonates with what I do now, and also a lot of the workers that sacrificed a lot during COVID and stuff. And now actually the back part of that, they're looking to put a grocery store on there for the south side. So
yeah,
really cool too.
That would be awesome. We've been hearing about that.
Yeah. Sharp's great.
Yeah.
So I mean that's kind of where I cut my teeth in the park system. When I came in, we were voting to put the addition on the golf center there, and then I actually worked with a dude named well, I won't give his full name, but he went by Ninja Nate at the time. But he actually helped me design that disc golf course now. So
cool.
I do a lot of disc golfing. It is my speed of athletics right now in my life. But yeah, we used like a $300,000 grant to like clear out all of the underbrush there, and then got a grant from the Kiwanis Club to build that.
Awesome.
Do they still do Pioneer Day at Ella Sharp? I did that as a kid, and it was like my favorite field trip ever.
Maybe. I just went with my daughter to the Dahlem Center and was the tall dude that like, chaperone. So that was really cool.
Before our wrap up question, my last question, what's next?
I have been like talking to a lot of folks. I know like Daniel Mahoney's like not running for re-election and is deciding not to run for state house. I think because of some of the things he's going through with recent events, and has encouraged me to run. So I'm taking a look at it. I care a lot about JPS and stuff and have a fun time there, but my heart is really in the city stuff. I got a lot of folks at City Hall that are encouraging me to run, and you know, I think that there's still a lot of impact that can be made. And while I was on Team Extreme in high school, I think I'm not extreme anymore, and this world could use some less extreme people in it.
So X extreme,
Yeah.
like not extra extreme, but X extreme.
X extreme. Yeah.
Our
Extremeless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
our friend Tony made sure to say that he loves that disc golf course. So,
Yeah, it's good. And I got a lot of folks that come through that I play with there, and they're like, it's a cool, like, technical course.
Yeah.
So
our buddy Damien goes, I personally suck at anything, but Damien loves it. So
nice.
yeah, I'm not good at stuff like that. Ken, can you pull that up for me when you have a moment?
Yes.
And do you have any other questions before I wrap up questions?
No, but I'm going to add an additional wrap-up question that
perfect.
goes with one of my original ones.
Oh, dang.
So mine are always
on.
the same. What is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have? Is there anything you want to share?
No, I think I've just been vomiting words for an hour, so I don't even know what I said.
Okay, so I'll read the thing.
Yeah, when we get to it.
Mhm.
What's your definition of success?
I think being fulfilled with the work that you are doing. And I always tell folks when they're looking to figure out what to do with their life and how they can be successful is to figure out what you like to do and do that. And I'm really, setting all the mayor stuff aside, working for a labor federation and going into work every day, fighting to give people an opportunity with a better job, better pay, benefits, working conditions, safer jobs so they can return to their families is really fulfilling. And I tell folks to find something to do that you would do even if you weren't being paid to do it. And I feel like, this is it, and really find your calling. So,
Yes, sir.
If you met younger you, would you get along? Would you get along with younger you, and vice versa?
We just make fun of each other all the time. So I'm like a big jokester, fairly sarcastic. So we just razz each other the whole day.
So then my add-on to that is, what is one piece of non-political personal advice that you would give to your younger self?
Oh, one piece of advice that I would give to my younger self. I would probably just say go easy on yourself. That's like we put a ton of stress on ourselves to sometimes to conform, sometimes to fit in. And the older that you get, the more you realize that it's just bullshit. And the cool people are the ones that just have already kind of figured out who they are and are just going to be who they are. And those are the people that when you grow up, you want to connect with and be around.
And they seem to be happier, honestly.
They
seem to be happy.
Okay.
It's easier to deal with haters when you don't care.
Right. One word to describe your entire journey from where you started to where you are now, and it has to be one word.
You already said it.
Commenting that it was a wild question. Context. I struggle with context.
If you told me I think back to being in high school and if you told me that you could ask any of my friends, they'd be like, man, someone who's doing Apple research or whatever on you, call me up because I got some stories to sell them. Right. But I think if you told me that in high school, I'd be a mayor of Jackson, the birthplace of the Republican Party, I'd be nah. So it's just kind of, I've been figuring out who I am and figuring out what I like and figuring out what's important to me. And, for a lot of folks, that's family is incredibly important for me. For other folks, money and getting rich is. Like I'm not rich. But to me, you know, like making a wow.
Yeah.
That's why he ain't allowed.
Wow, so he's raising his hand like preach. You know, to me, it's about having an impact and leaving a legacy. And I think that's probably motivated by, you know, the fact that like my mom died when she was 45, my dad passed at 60. And, you know, I've kind of chosen to live my life like, you know, if I turned 40 this year, so I'm a strong 40. But you know, if I got 20 years left, like what am I doing with it? So
Well, you
am I
don't
leaving my
you
mark?
don't look 40, by the way.
No,
So
not at all, dude. I thought you were already.
Someone at work,
seriously.
we just hired someone at work, and they asked me how old I was, and I'm like 27. And she's like, like, look, I'm like, what are you looking at up here? What are you looking at? Like these grades were earned. Okay, it's from Jackson. They gave me these grades.
So
Oh, yep. So blah, blah, blah. Sorry, this week we got your gift card. They just opened. They replaced Veritas.
Oak and Iron. And
Yeah, Oak
they
and Iron,
aim
I should say.
they aim to be a tribute to the city's heritage by providing globally inspired cuisine and hospitality that embodies resilience and craftsmanship.
Nice.
They actually have a really cool old woodworking book on the table that's like
Yeah.
about trading this guy's wife's for woodworking tools. And it's from Jackson.
Oak and Iron.
Yeah.
Nice. And they got like a honky tonk coming up.
Yeah, so-
it's just like
We just ate there,
Dude.
Okay.
and I'm like,
Dude,
"Where's the honky tonk?"
it's
Like,
upstairs.
Yeah, dude.
I haven't been there yet.
Dude,
couldn't
you
even
hear
tell.
it.
We walked up there, and I'm like, "There's a whole live band and people up here," and I couldn't tell eating dinner.
Yeah, we were down there eating, and we're like, man, where's this honky tonk? We go upstairs, it's like just music blaring. I'm like, how did we not hear this?
I'm like, I didn't even hear feet.
Yeah. But anyways, here you go. We got it for you for $40. So
Thanks, man. I'm gonna pay this forward and give this to someone else, but I appreciate
yes,
it.
sir, of course,
Awesome.
of course. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you. We'll cut the
Thank you
camera.
very much.
After we cut the camera, we sign our table.